21:47, and here we are live. Big day. Went surfing and felt really good to be back out in the water. I find with surfing sometimes like I lose motivation here and there, and so today was like a day where my body was like, go surfing. I was like, okay, we're doing it. And I love it when that happens. I love it when my body just like, it just powerfully calls me like that, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, this is what I'm meant to do. And it was amazing. It was great. It was exactly what I decided to have. And today I actually want to talk to you about the G Center. I'm going to do a few videos on the G Center. I think it's going to be fun. So the G Center in Human Design, if you don't know about Human Design, it is basically like an astrology chart, but totally different. I like to call it is your energetic blueprint, who you are. And it takes into, like, it combines very old modalities, the astrology system, chakra, so I don't know why I said astrology system. It's astrology, chakra system, Kabbalah, I Ching, and quantum physics. It takes your date of birth, it creates this chart for you. If you want to know what your chart is, you go to mybodygraph.com or geneticmatrix.com, and you just need to like create an account, and basically that's it. And then if you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM, and I can just give you like a little bit of a basic or guide you to a video where I do talk about the basics, and then that way you can kind of get started. It's exciting. But I want to talk about the G Center. Excuse me, because it's a fun one to talk about. So the G Center is all about the sense of direction, your identity, and love, self-love. So the G Center actually comes from, like, initially was the heart, and the heart got like split into two. And so now you have the heart, which is like the ego and the willpower, and then you got the G Center. And so I have a defined G Center, and I'm going to talk a little bit of what it's like to have a defined G Center, but then also what it's like to have an undefined G Center, and how, like, the contrast between the two, and how they are both beautiful in their own way. So a defined G Center, what's really interesting is that defined G Centers always have a sense of direction. Like, we can never really get lost as a defined G Center. We'll always find our way. And the reason I know that is because back when I was younger, when I was in elementary school, I used to walk around my neighborhood trying to get lost so I can purposely find my way back. In high school, I used to take the subway all the way downtown Montreal, try to get lost, and then I would always find my way around. I would never really get lost. And it was really funny because even in high school, I had like all my friends message me and be like, Julie, we need to get here. We need to get there. How do we get there? Like, you're the one who knows like where to go, like, and where to find this spot, where to find this, music venue or that clothing store that's downtown. And I remember like, I used to like write things out for people, like which bus to take, and, like which bus when to switch, and then like which subway line to take. Anyways, so defined G Centers, we don't get lost. Like, and this is like before Google Maps existed. I didn't get lost. And even my dad has a defined G Center, and we're both really good with directions. And even when somebody gives us directions, like, we understand when we receive directions, and we know like where to go and how to get there. Now, on the other spectrum, if you're an undefined G Center, like my mom, gets lost all the time. I remember the amount of times in high school that I had to go to or in elementary school, I had to go to a birthday party, or she was dropping me off at a Sweet 16. Because there was no Google Maps then, we were like always get lost. And because I was younger, I put my trust in her instead of me trying to, guide her. And so, yeah, undefined G Centers, you guys need Google Maps. You guys need a map, or like you need Google Maps for sure. You can't just like just go and figure it out. And so it is really interesting. And so, yeah, even if you like, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Use Google Maps, use your resources. Like if you're going hiking in the woods, like make sure you go with someone that you know, so that like, or you go somewhere that has like a very well marked path versus, you know, like literally in the bush. And so that is one of the interesting contrasts. The other thing with the G Center, it is a sense of identity. So as a defined G Centers like know who they are. Like we know ourselves so well. I remember like even when I traveled, like I didn't travel to find myself. I'm like, I already knew who I was. Obviously the travel did bring a lot of growth and a lot of evolution, and I learned a lot about myself, but I always knew who I was, and I still know who I am. And for somebody with an undefined G Center, it would be more of that travel to go find themselves. But the thing is that is like not in alignment. If someone with an undefined G Center is always seeking to like search themselves and find who they are, they won't really find that answer, because an undefined G Center and an open G Center samples identities depending on who they are with. And that's the beauty of it. Sample, take what resonates, bounce off the rest. So there are, as an undefined G Center, your identity is a variety of things. It's not just one aspect. And if you cannot define your identity as one aspect, then that's okay, because you are like various identities, and depending on who you're with, you take a little bit of that person, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you mirror it out back. And so that's what's really cool about like the G Center is like almost like a chameleon in a way, depending on the environment and where they are. And so that's really interesting. And so yeah, those are like the two big ones for the G Center. And I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm gonna stop there, because the next videos that I want to tap into with the G Center are going to be the gates, and I want to relate it to food. And so that's going to be fun, relating it to food and the love of food. But the gates, like there's a lot that the gates tell you, but that's just like a different perspective. So anyways, that is it. I'm gonna go. I'm waiting for the cat. So I'm cat sitting right now, and I'm waiting for the cat to come back, but it's really nice out and she's not back yet. And I'm like, usually the owners told me that like they lock her in from 7:30 to 7:30, and it's close to 8, and I'm like, she's not here. So let's hope she comes soon, because I want to feed her and I want to make sure she's okay. I'm taking care of someone else's cat, so it's kind of like, please come back. Anyways, that's my little thing. Yeah, okay. I will go. I'll speak to you tomorrow for day 148. Tomorrow I'm actually doing a flower essence therapy. I have no idea what it is, but I'll let you know. Bye.